Yeah, I'm not gonna lie on this. This is purely self-indulgent here. But I do have a reason for it. And if you've been watching any of the streams in the past couple months, you're probably aware of what this is. See, earlier this year, a game called Yoshi's New Island came out, and I was extremely excited for this, because Yoshi's New Island had potential. To note the had and the sad laughter in the background, because it kind of dropped the ball a lot. But I better make sure I don't actually just turn this into a giant rant about Yoshi's New Island, because I could go for a while. Let's just say, here's a sample of the intro song. And let's just leave it at there for now. There's way more about it, but basically, playing through the game, it was kind of the whole time. And that made me wonder, is the original Yoshi's Island just like so tinged in nostalgia for me now that it's actually not that good of a game? Now, that worries me because this is a game that I've been playing since I was 10. I remember getting this for like my Christmas in '95, and I loved the game back then. But I haven't really, like, besides random times just playing it on streams or just if someone wants to play it, I haven't really sat down and played the whole game again. So now I'm wondering, am I just, like, blind to my nostalgia at this point, or is it actually still a good game? Which is what I'm here to find out now. So we're just going to play through the game. It's been a while. I know it's weird seeing me do a Mario game that isn't Mario World, yet at the same time is called Mario World. But, like I said, this is self-indulgent, a chance to work on my solo commentary again, because streams I usually have backup, and I know there's another project that you guys would really like me to be back on that I don't feel like my commentary solo's up to snuff yet, so we're going to work on that. The only way I know how, by throwing eggs at people. Now, I suppose since this is one of the few points where they actually discuss plot, I should probably actually discuss what's happening in the game if you've never heard of this game before or never played it. Basically, all the Yoshi's Island games are prequels to the Mario Brothers series. Baby Mario and Baby Luigi are being delivered to their parents by the stork, because apparently there was a sale on twins or something, and their parents thought it was a good idea to get twins. God knows raising one kid's hard enough. I don't know why they'd want to raise two. This is coming from the uncle of twins. But Kamek flies in and ends up kidnapping Luigi, and doesn't realize he missed Mario until he gets back to the castle. However, Baby Mario flies to his death, and it's weird because in the shot you see him falling to his death, you see water underneath, you don't see an island. And then suddenly he lands in a dense jungle on Yoshi's back, so apparently there was a tailwind or something. Either way, Yoshi finds the map that the stork was using and decides to go back to talk to the other Yoshis to figure out what to do about the giant human child he has just on his back. I guess giant's not the right word, but they're like, the baby is half the size of Yoshi in that shot, actually. That's actually really big for a baby. Or Yoshis are just really tiny. I never thought of that. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Let's get going. I love how concerned all the Yoshis look, because they're just not... I feel like this is probably the first time they've seen a human child. And let's just work off the assumption Mario is human, because we don't know what in the world the Nintendo universe has laws for any of these things. But I love how they don't even make sound. Well, that's the only sound they'll probably end up making the entire game. That and like the weird whistle they make when they get hit. But somehow they seem to know what the baby is thinking, so they're like, alright, we'll just go on this deadly adventure that'll probably get us all killed. Via a relay system. Now begins a new adventure for the Yoshis and Baby Mario. I would like to point out, this is A, the first time they actually refer to the baby as Mario, and B, I don't think Luigi ever gets mentioned by name at all the entire game. Except for maybe the very, very end of the game. Any other time he's mentioned, it's brother. So this makes me wonder, is this the first game that actually started the whole Honestly, Nintendo's little obsession with Luigi is the weird, like, awkward child of the family. I feel like it is. Because I can't think of any other point where that even started. I can't even think of when that just became accepted. Was that just around, like, Luigi's Mansion? Because I don't remember any other point where it was accepted that Luigi was just this weird, awkward child that was just like a fraidy cat until Luigi's Mansion. Like, that's when they finally decided, he's been around for like 10, 15 years at this point. Let's give him a personality. Let's get started with the first stage here. And I feel like I might not need to explain the controls to you, because I feel like a lot of people might have played this game before. But if you haven't, here's a quick breakdown. Beat a jump. Beat a hover jump if you hold it in midair. Why to use your Yoshi tongue. I'm going to skip all these info boxes on 90%. As soon as I said it. Here's a detailed instruction on how to fart, just in case you're ever wondering. Okay, why to eat the enemies. Down to poop. Once you've pooped, you're going to poop up to 6 times. Any other time you poop, they will unfortunately fall off screen. You can only have so much poop carried around with you at all times. A, to shoot an egg. Terribly at that, apparently. And pick up these flowers. Alright, there's more pop-ups for this too. 5 to get you a 1-up. They also let you do the bonus games at the end. Let's kill you. Let's get started here. I think that's about all the control I need to worry about. A gaming's really the only other thing. You can aim your poops like so. The grid here, if you hold straight up, it'll go straight up. If you hold one of the shoulder buttons, it locks on to wherever it was at the time. And these are your health meter, essentially. The little counter in the corner. Maximum is 30. Minimum is 0. If it goes to 0, Baby Mario gets kidnapped. Unless you are really, really lucky. It is possible to save yourself if you've completely messed up like that, but don't expect it to happen that often. You're also looking for 3 things in this stage. You're ranked on 3 things. Your stars, the red coins, and the flowers. I'll bring up the grid here at the pause menu. The idea is you want to end each stage with 100 points. So you have to get 20 red coins, 5 flowers, and have 30 stars. You can the red coins are in a couple different ways. One is you can get these assholes that just fly around with them. And they're honestly going to be the bane of my existence trying to get 100%. Because sometimes they just like to pop on screen for a split second just off camera and just fly away. They're great. That's like one of the few things I can think that's going to mess up a run. The other thing is going to be messing up boss fights, and oh man, there are a lot of boss fights in this game. But we'll get to that momentarily. Let's push this boulder. Let's see if I can find a red coin to show you an example of what they look like, because they blend in with the gold ones here. So these 5 here should all be normal. Yep, sure enough. I know I could just catch all these with coins, but I just want to try to prove the point here. Now, it's going to be hard to tell. I can't even tell on the capture unit right now, but there's a slight difference. So this guy I'm standing below right now should be a normal coin. Glad I got that wrong. This guy I'm standing below should be a normal coin. It is. And this guy should be a red coin. Sure enough. All right, cool. Also, in case you just missed my stupidity for a second there, I also showed off a trick that is very important for later on. It's called trick shotting with the eggs. So anytime an egg bounces, it changes color. But if it bounces 3 times, it gets the important one, which is red. Otherwise, it's green for normal, yellow, and then red. No matter what, or depending on what the color the egg is, you get a different item. The only one we're really going to care about are red and flashing red. The reason for that is if I fire this green, it just does nothing. But, let's rotate through the eggs here. If I fire this red, it drops 2 little stars when it dies. When it hits something, it has to hit an enemy to actually drop that. So it's very important to have those, especially if you get right to the end and you goof up a little bit, take a hit. It will save your ass if you're trying to get 100%. So you will see me just randomly stopping at certain points and trick-shotting some eggs to get reds. Probably one of the most important tricks in this game. Otherwise, at least for most of the stages, you can just run through as normal. There is just enough items in every stage, really, to get 30 to guarantee 100%, but there are some insurance policies you want to do here and there that'll help you if you goof. And since I am more or less doing this blind after when's the last time I even played through this game? Let's say a long time ago. We will probably be needing some of those insurance policies every now and then. There we go. If you hear that little jingle, it means we got all the red coins. We've got all the stars, and we've got all the flowers. So all we need to do is just get to the gate without getting hit. Which is a lot easier than you think. Which means I'm about to get hit in like 3 seconds. Anytime you hear that jingling noise, that means that actual flower, or that, I don't know what you want to call that, the mystery box actually has stars in it. But since we're at 30, all the stars are coins instead. You know what? That's not lollygagging around. We've pretty much explained all this game. Let's get going. That's what I expected for the first roulette. It's just nothing. There's our scoreboard. And now we celebrate with dancing text. Yay! And we're good to go to the next stage. Now, if you don't get 100% on a stage, you can just go back at any point. It also helps if you want to go back for items, because there are mini-games you can play in certain stages if you want to go back and just grind lives, whatever. You can do all that. And you can conveniently press the score button to see all the stages that you've done so far. If it's giving you a mild seizure, that means you did good. But let's move on. I don't know how far we're going to go on this video. We're probably going to try to get to at least 1-3. But I also took my sweet time going through that stage, so now you're going to see me jamming through a little bit faster. Which means I'm going to make more mistakes as a result. Oh, the cycle is never ending. Oh, speaking of mistakes. So, if the chomp actually gets on top of you, it will shove you straight down. Which means I got stupid lucky with the fact that I'm actually still in the game right now. These guys don't show up everywhere, but sometimes they're a pain when they do. And here's another fun little aspect, butt stomping. This game is very obsessed with butts. But the thing is, you unfortunately will eventually need to deal with these things. You will either need to deal with them to actually just move stuff out of the way, just to make sure you can get through a stage, or they could be hiding red coins. That's actually a thing they do, and I think it's the most dickish thing they do with this game. You will find they don't do it often, thankfully, but there's just enough that you will start to just build a reflex of just making sure you butt stomp those things. Because potentially at the base of them, there could be a red coin. Ooh, this is another stage that's going to introduce a new mechanic as well. Beautiful! New mechanic in a video game, that's unheard of. We got a little bit before we get to it yet. We got to deal with this fancy cave we're walking through here right now. But actually, cut down here for a second. Don't need to do this, but I'm doing it because I can. Sad thing is I'm going to probably reflexively forget about that. So what we need to do is we need to go all the way over here, but notice all these goodies we're missing. I could just try trick shotting, or just trying to like egg throw to see if I can grab everything, but it's very, very time consuming. So thankfully up ahead there's a power-up we're going to want to use that'll help us get through that a lot easier. I'm just checking for something else here now. Because as you notice, there's a lot of little invisible power-ups hidden around. Mainly one-ups, sometimes extra stars, which can help too. And I'm just going to say it right now. Notice my life counter is at... Wait, wasn't it already at 7? My life counter is at 7 right now. You will see that fluctuating a lot through this playthrough because, since I'm playing this on an actual Super Nintendo, it doesn't save your lives if you turn off the power. It does that on the GBA version of this game. It does that on the Virtual Console version of the game, as long as you're playing the GBA Virtual Console version. And obviously if it was using an emulator, I could just save state or a Retron. But I'm playing this on the original hardware. Speaking of hardware, we've used the power of Mode 7 to transform into a helicopter. So now we can fly around and get all those coins and items we missed earlier. But really, there's only so many we need to be worried about. Also, doesn't matter if we crash into anything because we'll just spin out. And we don't actually get hurt in this mode. Since the baby's not near us, we don't need to worry about any damage. Okay, that should be everything I need to worry about. So if I hit this, snap back into place and we're good to go. Coin count looks right for memory. So it's safe. You could, all those other coins should have been just normal coins. And if I wanted to, I can just go back. Because here's where that 1-up was. So we can just even hover over here and grab a couple of them now. Actually, I think we can get to all of them. Sure enough. Just in case. Terrible shot. Perfect. John, that's exactly the shot we needed right now. Someone go deal with that egg. I'm sure it will not cause any problems at all. Boom. There we go. So we should have 17 full stars, and we're missing 1 flower. We are good to go to move on here. Now, that was the only transformation we've dealt with so far. There's going to be a ton of them. Let's just watch this one-up guy here. If you wait too long, he starts flying away, so just make sure to deal with him now. He's not that bad when it's just like a simple coin, but when it becomes one-ups or red coins, it becomes a bit more of a pain. And we are already at 100%. We're at the end of the stage, too. So if I wanted to, I could just fly through here. I don't want to get blindsided. No, we are good. Perfect. Let's end it. And let's drop an egg for no reason. Oh, man. Bonus challenge! I didn't actually expect to see one of these in the video. Bonus challenge is just a bonus minigame. Usually for lives, but more importantly for items. Items help a lot in this game if you're going for 100%. And even if you're just kind of stalling in the game, not quite sure what to do or where to go. Flip cards! I believe this is just... Oh no, this is for items as well. This is basically test your luck. Throw an egg. Get knocked out immediately. I should have known. So, what would normally happen in that minigame is you would find items and one-ups behind them. You basically keep grabbing items till you think you should leave and don't want a chance getting that Kamek. Kamek will make you lose everything you've found so far, which is why you exit and just run with what you've got. But if you get every item but the Kamek actually turns into a super item. I believe it's usually a 10-up, or a very rare item. Let's do one last level. Let's do 1-3. End on a weird number, 3 stages. Now, you can just skip these guys and go down, but of course there's another one up here. I don't know why I remember where all these random one-ups are. Might be the muscle memory from, like, God, 95. Showing my age here a little bit, I suppose. If I can muscle memory back to that long ago. Yeah, so here's where we gotta start dealing with these guys. If not only for the coins, then for blocking packages. Or blocking paths. And then there's crates! Full of usually these, the little mini stars, but sometimes they'll have keys. And this is the... Where'd the rock go? This is the first stage where we'll have to deal with keys. Get used to a lot of respawning as well, I should state. Yep, there we go. That's the first one. That's where the muscle memory builds in and where you're going to start dreading seeing those things from here on out. But they do lead to a lot of spare paths. God damn it, I did it again. You know, the worst part about all this is, I'm going back to get it a 3rd time. And it's just going to get stuck right here. It was just there to kill the enemies, but I ate them all. But, no, don't. Would you like to switch? No. I know how to throw an egg. Don't worry. I've practiced all my life. Okay, if you can land on this simple jump and fly up here, just get a bunch of free coins. That's about it, though. Nothing major. But there's a lot of little points like that, especially in actually the next castle. And we will deal with those once we find them, but for now, let's jump on that guy. I'm more so concerned how long I can go in this game before I accidentally take a hit and have to talk about the damage mechanics of the game. Hopefully we never have to. I did a little practice run last time we streamed it. I did okay, I think. I don't think I got hit till 1-4. But, although I use the term okay loosely, because really you can do much better than that. Oof. I know that in the first couple stages, if you get hit, they do a little tutorial like, oh man, you should probably save Baby Mario. It's almost like that's the point of the game or something. But I think if you get so far without actually having that happen, the game just forgets. It's like, oh no, they know what they're doing. Don't worry. Let's just stop. All right, these little spores turn into the stupid chompers. But really, what we're concerned about right now is not that crate, but what's behind it. The key. Grab it with our nothing. We'll completely miss. Cool. Good shot. There we go. Now it takes up an egg slot, so if I still had 6 eggs, 1 would actually get thrown away. So it's not a big deal that I threw that egg. But now we get to play a minigame for fabulous prizes. or singular prize. I believe this actually usually is a 1-up. So we gotta fight against a bandit here. We just have to keep typing in the button sequence. The idea is hot potato. Make sure you don't hang on to it so long that it just bursts in your hands, or in Yoshi's case, his face. It's really probably a bad idea to be holding that so close to your ear. And if you're wondering why I'm not typing in anything, it's because I just want to make sure it actually gets to a decent size before I throw it. Because once it gets big enough, it's going to explode and kill me or the bandit, preferably the bandit. I also don't remember what size it actually has to go to, so you're going to see me just kind of panicking right now and throwing it. I believe it's by the time it gets close to Yoshi's feet. Oh, this guy's a dick. There we go! Sweet, and that gave us just a 1-up. I was hoping for an actual item, but you know what? In a Nintendo game, sure, let's take more lives. There's never been a case where you've needed multiple lives in a Nintendo game. Never. Or crown. I don't get when that is a thing now. Why do you make that a thing? The fact that it's for a star ranking too. At this point, it's like, hey, do you remember how to do the shell trick for getting lives in a Mario game? You should probably do that. We'll give you a star. Nice shiny star. Unless you use that magic Tanuki suit. Okay, so this is just more star bits, but I'm gonna grab many more. Or not. I'm already at 30, aren't I? Sure am. If you stand still long enough, your health meter also shows up, but really, it's pretty much faster just to pause and unpause. So you remember those red coins? I don't like. That's like, if I have one complaint about this game, that's probably it. Is I don't like having to just search and ground pound random things to find the red coins. There are items that do help a bit, but I think even with the ground pounds, it doesn't help that much. There's an item called a magnifying glass, which shows you the coins, which ones are actually normal and which ones are actually red. But I don't think they show the ground pounds. We'll find out for sure later when we get to a point where we actually have it. Or someone in the comments will confirm it. Whichever happens first. The comments are going to confirm first, let's be real here. Okay, and I believe if I ground pound this one, there should be, bingo! And now they hit this guy. Big old red switch. Hit this. An arrow appears. If you duck down where the arrow is, hidden area. You're gonna see a bunch of those. Later on, they're actually gonna be important to getting the red coins too, and maybe even some of the flowers, but really for now, it's just for money. And to show off, I believe this game has the Super FX2 chip, which although while I mentioned Mode 7 earlier, which is how they do all the fancy sprite scrolling later on, and in other games, I totally just clipped through that, didn't I? Cool. Good thing I got all the coins. I'm actually just like, you can't see it right now, but right now I'm just shaking my head while playing. That's just like, oh, is that really what's gonna happen right now? Are we gonna glitch in actual video recordings too? This is not Superman. That comes later. Now we need the boulder to get right here. The boulder to get right here. Thank you. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna get up here. All the red coins, the last flower. Boom, 100 points. Let's get out of here. And there's I'm gonna assume that pipe is solely for refilling my eggs. If you see Shy Guys pumping out of a pipe, that usually means it's just there for refilling. 90% of the time, you cannot go down that pipe, but there's the very, very rare chance that you can, and you may miss coins or stars as a result, or flowers. Really, you'll miss anything. So be careful. But usually, you don't need to worry about it. Oh, and I got lucky on that. That would have been the hit. Just keep dropping an egg there. Throw some other Yoshis. Or power-ups. Or get a bonus chance. Maybe it's my good luck charm. Even though I don't think last time I did that, it actually got a good luck charm. I like how I've already forgotten what happened like 10 minutes ago. That's how good my memory is. I'm on par with a goldfish. Let's see if I have a goldfish's luck, too, here. Same minigame! I'm gonna go with Gambler's Fallacy here. Fuck, are you serious? Kids, this is why you don't believe even Gambler's Fallacy. Because it usually Gambler's Fallacy is actually true. And for those who don't know what it is, it's, oh, something was there in the same spot the first time. That means it won't be there the second time. Sure enough, I am the exception to all luck rules, and that will be it for today. We will see you guys next time when we tackle the first boss in stage 1-4. Until then, see you next time.